Oh, we're live.
Ooh.
What is going on, everybody? Yeah, it's me running the show today. It's good stuff. Oh God!
You have to address the elephant in the room, which is your washing machine, man.
You guys hear that? What? It's not that loud.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's really fucking loud. Dave, you probably can't see the chat either, huh? Because you're on your phone.
I can't see it.
Okay. Well, yeah. So Chris is in Washington State tonight.
Yep, he flew out early this morning,
dude.
So he should be there. I mean, I think he was going to try to call, but we didn't know for sure if he was actually going to call.
Hell yeah! So I mean, and I think Danielson is. Oh, we got a first phone call. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Hello. Who are we speaking with?
Hello, this is Devin. How are you?
Devin, a brand new caller?
A brand new caller. I'm so excited to be talking to you guys right now.
Oh, okay.
How you doing? How's it going, Devin?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing? How are things a little south of where I am? I'm from Canada.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, shit.
Oh,
we got two Canadians in here.
What's that all about?
Yeah, no, it's I've been watching you guys for a while, me and my lady, so no, it's super cool. I'm excited that I joined the Patreon and thought I'd give you guys a call and see how things are going on your end of things.
Yeah? What's your name on Patreon, dude?
I'm probably still Devin. I don't know.
Okay. We'll have to
Devin, bro.
I'll have to show
you.
You
guys are the only people I've ever subscribed to on it, so I just threw up an account. I don't even remember what my sign-in was. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, what, Devin? What part of Canada are you located in?
I'm just in Calgary, Alberta.
Okay.
Do you know Flex?
Nice,
I've been watching you. Me and my girl have been watching you guys since it was Pardon My American. I still call you guys every time I reference you guys. I'm like, oh, it's time to watch Pardon My American, babe. Come on, let's do this.
Yeah,
I know. We got that itch, dude.
It's tough, man. We always want to go back to it, but it's hard to, with everything going on. But it's always Pardon My American. It always will be for us.
You know what?
I love seeing you guys with all your stuff in the background that's still got the PMA and whatever else, the wrestling belt and all that. It's gold. I love seeing that stuff.
Dude, we actually might be able to go back to it because one of the main reasons why we had to change is because we couldn't get on Spotify because they thought we were domestic terrorists, right?
So
our link tree, they took our link tree down. But we just got this notification a couple weeks ago that our link tree was back up, and I'm like,
no,
well, that's fucking pointless.
Good news.
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen, I would happily go back to Pardon My American, 100%. I mean, I think we all would. We just we were having to navigate the fact that is it gonna, even if it's slow right now, is it gonna ever hold us back long term? That was the big aspect of it. But if we got our link tree back, hey.
Oh yeah. Hey, man. That's all that matters.
Well, at the end of the day, it's you three, which is what matters, right? It doesn't really matter what the name is. I'll call you guys Pardon My American for the rest of my life, but you guys can still be the last Americans.
Okay.
Hell yeah, man.
That's all that matters.
What's new, man? What's on your mind?
Oh, man, there's so much going on. All the conspiracies and stuff that are happening, with the election as well going on. I heard you guys were talking about, ballot boxes over in Portland getting burnt down and stuff like that. And it's just there's a lot of, shifty stuff going on what would seem like both sides, but, the water's pretty muddy. It's hard to really pinpoint who's doing what, right?
Yeah, Devin, Chris just sent us a link that said Washington State Governor Jay Inslee has activated the National Guard.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see what happens there.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I voted tonight, okay? I voted tonight. It was the last day of early voting here for us. And I've never been to a voting booth because we always in Washington, it was always mail-in vote. And so me and my wife went to go to a voting place and shit, and it was I actually texted Greg and I was like, hey man, we just got here. I don't know how long this is gonna take. I was thinking it's gonna be crazy, but man, it was so smooth and it felt way better actually pushing the button fucking Trump, dude. Fuck yeah.
Oh, you did it on a machine?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, we did it on a machine, man. It wasn't one of those ones though. I can't remember what the names of it is, but
the Dominion.
The process. Yeah, so actually doing it in person, like the way that we had to check in with our ID, you know what I'm saying? We had to give them our ID.
Yeah.
They had to they flipped the screen around. They showed you like, you know, all your information. You had to verify that it was you. You had to autograph it. And then they gave you the paper and shit. The whole process, I was like, oh, I feel pretty good about this, man. Like I feel pretty comfortable about how this process works. And it just was smoother. Like I like the idea of like I took that sheet of paper that it printed and I put it in the fucking little machine, you know what I'm saying? And it was was in there.
Dude, I have no idea what you're saying because I've never done this in my life. I've just voted by mail. So
yeah, I mean, listen, the idea of like filling out it and then putting it in the mailbox and you don't know like who's gonna touch it after the mailbox. I guess I just never realized
like the chain of command on that ballot, right? Like there's so many things that could happen, and there, you know, there's those states that allow ballot collectors as well, and it just it really throws off the authenticity and validity of casting your vote, right? And it just seems like in a lot of ways they're trying to push for like the mail-in and allowing people to do the collections, and it's just it seems like such an easy way to tamper with, you know, those counties and communities, especially like rural areas that would sort of actually need a service like that because they're pretty far away from actual services and voting booths and stuff. But, you know, it's just crazy with some of the stuff they're getting away with.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. It's nice though. I feel good. I feel like I did what I needed to do. Now I can just enjoy the rest of this time. You know what I'm saying?
So Dave, is there like a website or something you can go to verify everything's kosher, so to speak?
I believe so. I haven't done it tonight. You got this piece of paper. So you get like, you actually go, you know, you get a piece of paper is blank and you put it into the machine and it kind of takes part of it. You fill out all the people that you want to vote for. And then after you finish, it prints the whole paper out and it shows all the people that you voted for with certain numbers and shit. And you can verify that it's correct, but you can also check on the machine. And then I went up to another guy and you have to put it into this other machine that sucks up the paper and counts it as it's going through, you know? So yeah, I think there's a website.
Did they let you vote for Kamala twice? Is that okay to do now or?
Man, I was waiting for it, dude. I was waiting to press Trump and have it pop up somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
it was smooth, man. It was actually really smooth, dude.
No, that's good to hear, especially because of what's been going on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Nobody outside, nobody being weird. They had a Kamala tent that had no one there. And they had a Republican tent, you know, Trump tent that everybody was surrounding. So it was kind of nice. I was just looking over at Kamala's tent, you know, the little Democrat tent. I was like, dude, man, you guys are bored, aren't you? Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, in Texas, that's going to be a hard sell.
Well, in some parts it wouldn't be, but I mean, we have a really red county here, and so it's overwhelming Republicans here. So it's you know that they weren't getting much love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, and you see it everywhere. Like the Biden rallies, even from the past election, were just laughable. You know, like you got crowds of maybe 100 people sometimes, and it was just like compared to Trump and the crowds that he brought, and you know the peace that he also brought too. Like it actually brought a sense of unity together with the community that supports him, right?
Yeah,
whereas
absolutely.
with the Democrats, it was like totally different. Like it had a different energy. There was just like, who can we point the finger at next almost, right? They weren't really addressing any of the issues.
Well, I mean, it's a nice family if you're a female with a penis. Or if like you want abortions, you've had like 7 or so, and you're like, hey, let's get some more. You know, that's like a nice family to have. You know?
Let me ask you.
I don't know what I am. I'm so confused. Like it's just crazy, man. Like,
well, normally, so it's Devin, right? I just want to make sure I'm getting it right.
Yeah,
Devin. Okay. So normally we have Flex on the show, right? He's our Canadian longtime listener. I'm sure you've heard him before. You know,
he's in the chat.
I watched Strange Sauna as well. So I definitely know.
Yeah. Flex. So what is your take as a Canadian, since we have another Canadian here? What implications are you looking at as far as this election happening? Like, are you actually paying a lot of attention to it? Obviously you are, but how do you think it affects Canada?
I'm trying to like take a step back from how invested I was last election, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Because it took a lot out of me, man. Took a lot out of
everybody. Everybody was like freaking out.
Oh, exactly. And I just, I had to take that step back for my own, sanity. But I'm hoping that, if Trump gets reelected, it helps bring, a conservative government back to Canada. Because personally, I'm a firearms owner. I have my license for my restricted and non-restricted and stuff like that. And I would like to be able to gain access to handguns again, because they've been on that handgun freeze for the last how many years, right?
Yeah, so dude.
It'd be really cool to be able to start training and, being able to have a handgun and go to the firing range and all that fun stuff, right? I want to get familiar with them. So
that's wild. You don't have it. I mean,
dude, it's not wild. That's fucking communism, dude.
I know, but
you're almost there, Devin.
To hear somebody say
that
I
came in a little bit late too, right? I literally got my license like a year after they put the freeze in place.
Oh, so shit.
I wasn't able to access them and sort of carry and hold on to them and still use them.
Yeah.
So, but at least I'm grandfathered in. If for some crazy reason we ended up getting more liberal government and they decided to get rid of restricted firearm licensing, at least I've got it now and I'm grandfathered in. So,
well, I hope that Canada can see what the United States is doing, and hopefully the United States can see what we're doing too, and then flip the bird here. But I don't know what's really going to happen. I think it's going to be nice for a couple years, but then once Trump's out, I think shit's probably going to hit the fan again. That's just my own intuition.
Well, dude, I honestly, I watching JD Vance, when he was picked for VP, it wasn't all that exciting to me. I didn't really understand that pick per se. But I will tell you, the more I've watched him and the more I listen to him, I'm like, all right, this guy's solid, man. He's a good speaker. He's a smart guy. I don't really find him phony. I know that he's a politician, so you always have to kind of assume that he maybe is a little phony, but I just don't get that vibe. You know what I'm saying? The way that he speaks and stuff. So I'm thinking that was the play, right? Like Trump if he wins, obviously he gets out and JD Vance has this opportunity to be that guy. Now that's all dependent on how good he does in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of person is he? But man, I do like
time will tell, right? That's the whole thing.
It's true.
A lot of these politicians, they put up a good face when they're doing the, polling and everything like that, and they're trying to get the votes, and then it all crumbles, right? So
yeah, and that's the whole thing.
All talk or not, right? But I feel like Trump has a decent judge of character when it comes to that, and hopefully he can.
Well, he hired the swamp his first go around, so hopefully he doesn't hire the swamp again.
Yeah, but him talking on Rogan about that it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you come in, you don't know what you're, who's who, and people are making suggestions. And I think he said that on Rogan where he said, I made some mistakes. I made some bad judgments. I had people tell me that this guy would be great, and he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that this time around, especially with Tulsi, with Kennedy and all these other people kind of coming in, I'm hoping that this would be a refreshing take if he becomes president again.
Oh, for sure, especially with Kennedy and like looking into, the health issues that we have and everything, like make America healthy again, and not even just America, like North America, like let's get it up here too, like pass it on, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with our health and everything, and the stuff that they're feeding us and stuff, right?
Absolutely, dude.
Well, shit, man, that's awesome, dude. First of all, thank you so much for joining Patreon, man, and actually calling us.
Absolutely.
We always like hearing new people, man, for sure. Hearing from new people. So please don't be a stranger, man.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It was a pleasure. You guys have been awesome. Me and my girlfriend, we thoroughly enjoy watching you. So, always know we're always there. We're watching. We watch every episode. She's on Apple. She's listening to the podcast, and I'm watching on YouTube constantly. So
we're always watching you.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Devin's like the fly on the wall. He's always, dude. Join the chat. Chat it up.
Yeah.
You and your girl can join the chat.
And tell your girlfriend we appreciate her support as well, man.
Oh, for sure. No, you guys have been awesome, and you guys are just so entertaining. Like all the stuff you guys talk about is great. I love how Chris is always cracking his beers up to the camera for all the people that hate it. It's amazing. It's just like, it's those little things that I just like, I love. You guys are the best.
Right on,
thank
dude.
You, man.
Well, thanks for calling in, man.
Take care.
We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be in the chat.
All right, brother.
All right, take care, bud.
Peace.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love getting new calls, man. It's awesome. Especially because we don't, we got one Canadian. Now we got two Canadians, you know what I'm saying? Wow. Or three, technically, if you talk about the girlfriend as well.
That's true. Well, I mean, Flex, does Flex have a dog? I mean, maybe the dog watches the show. I don't know.
So we got, 3 Canadians and a dog, dude. That's good.
There you go. That's like a Ryan Reynolds shoot off. Oh, here comes Flexi Poo right here. Flexi Poo?
What's up? Bang, bang.
What's going on?
You got 2 Canadians now calling in. It's going to be the Canada show tonight.
Oh, it's getting sticky, dude. I'm like wetting myself.
Oh,
That's
shit.
It, man. I'm just doing it just to get you all wet like a vet. You know
wow.
Man, I'm in bed right now. You can't say that kind of shit. You know what I'm
saying? Dude, how was your Halloween thing, Flex?
Oh, man, it was awesome. Bittersweet. It was a very difficult week because I was excited being there and seeing everybody. But I found out one of my best friends who works at the rec center is retiring in December. And that's because he has bladder cancer.
Oh, shit.
And I was a wreck. I found that out the day after I arrived on Sunday. I spoke to him. He says everything's okay, but he is retiring in December. And then my other best friend who plays in the band, and he also works at the community center, he wants out by April. So the changing of the guards happening, we don't know who's coming in because the next person that comes in, guys, might be saying, we're not doing Fear Factor, you're not doing pancake breakfast. I mean, that's how bad the city of Toronto is right now if you don't get the right staff in there.
Dude, you know what you need to do? Start your own thing where you're at now.
Well, they don't want me to do that. Everybody was like, hey, we'll find another place to do it if it happens. I still think it will continue because it's a massive event. We get tons of food for the food bank. We had 30 volunteers, and they all, half of them got their volunteer hours for high school, because here in Canada, you have to do 40 hours of volunteering in high school as part of your degree, like to whatever. But it was just bittersweet because it's like, my friend said he's okay, but I mean, I've dealt with cancer with my mom. One of my good friends, who's the other guy that's retiring, he lost his girlfriend to cancer a few years ago. So it's kind of like, and he didn't want to tell me until afterwards, or not at all until I got back home. He didn't want to ruin it, but I did find out. But it was a beautiful time. Beautiful. That's a very Canadian word. It's a great time. Yeah. And yeah, man, I got back home with a cold. This is my second cold, Greg.
Oh shit!
Second cold in 2 years. Not as bad as last time, but I literally can't hear because my ears are plugged and the airplane messed it up a bit. So I'm a little
great.
I'm like old man now. Like, speak up, Sonny. What's that?
Dude, you know what you should do? Just wear a mask, mittens, and like goggles on the airplane, and then no one will sit next to you. They'll like leave you alone.
Yeah. It was such a packed flight, and my nose was running a little bit, and my ears were bothering me, and I needed to sneeze. It was like 4.5 hour flight back as opposed to 3 hours and 45 minutes, 5 minutes there. And I was just like, I want to be in my bed. I got home and I just kind of fell on my bed and hugged it because I was sleeping on a pull-out couch for 10 days. And I'm like, missed my bed, missed my place, but got to see my friends. It was awesome, man. It was really good. And, we scared a shit ton of people, and I spent more money I didn't need to spend. I bought like $1,500 worth of new Halloween props for the lobby, these 8-foot clowns that move. And I think next year, if it does, it will happen next year. But the real estate agents that sold my house, we had breakfast together when I was there, and he says, we want to sponsor you next year. He goes, how much of it comes out of your pocket? And I said, anywhere between $500 to $1,000. And he says, no, we'll sponsor you from now on. So at least we're covering any new stuff you buy and your flight. So that was really cool. That's cool.
Awesome.
But got some good people there. Because Canadians are good people. And Devin knows that.
Yeah.
Not to say Americans aren't good people. We got good people in here, but
they're good people. They're just
the Canadian
soft,
numbers up. Yeah, we're trying to get the Canadian numbers up. We got about a dozen people now. All my friends watch Strange Sauna.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
you know what though? Like Devin was referring to this. If you guys get the gun back, if you get your guns back, you know how hard gangster like Canadians will be. Like, you guys will start sagging your pants. You guys will have the backwards hats. You'll be like, what, you want some of this shit?
Yeah,
oh, dude, that's going to be real quick.
We have that here in BC where I'm at, and where Devin's at, Calgary, Alberta. That's almost like a Florida red state. Like they would be very conservative, for sure. And our thing is we got to get Justin Trudeau out, and the new guy that's coming in. If he even does 1/3 of what he's promised, which is get rid of the carbon tax, which is causing everything to be super expensive for us. Bring back the guns, which he's talked about, that people can apply for them. And there was one other thing I can't remember as well.
Well, do you think, what are your chances of, what do you think the chances of Trudeau getting out are?
Right now, he's being propped up because we have many parties. We have Conservatives, the Liberals, the NDP, Bloc Québécois, which is like they only look out for themselves, which is in Quebec near Toronto. So what's happening is the NDP tag team with the Liberals. So the Liberals had a minority government. And the only reason why he's staying in and he's not, now he's telling for the last couple of months, the guys been like, Justin's this, Justin's that, it's horrible. And they're like, so call a no confidence vote. But if he does that, then this guy needs to be in office and the Liberals have to be in power all the way up until November of next year so that he gets his pension. So we're being pretty well hijacked, 41 million people because of this numbnut with the NDP. So they're supporting the Liberals. The Liberals don't have a majority government.
Well, so here's the deal, though. Here's the deal, Flex, because there's, I don't know, it was like over 20 different countries voting this year. So I wonder if there's going to be a wave of change, if Trump kind of triggers this like cascade of,
there might be,
you know what I mean? Like all these countries like switching around.
Yeah.
There might be.
Well, things haven't been good, man. They haven't been good for anybody. So I could see a mass wave because it's not just America that's dealing with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just
especially immigration.
Same boat with us. We're in the same boat with Australia and the UK, where it's gotten ridiculously bad, like just ridiculously bad. And I think, and that was actually bad for COVID too. So I think they were like the WEF blueprint kind of the blueprint to everything.
Australia,
Canada, and England, right? Because they're still under the government. Sorry, under government. They're still under the thing. So it's scary because I do feel if Trump does get in, and I've changed my mind, I actually think he will win, but they will not certify, or they'll try to get him out using Congress, and I think it will go past January 20th. And I think after January 20th is when maybe the military, I think the military will come in when shit goes down, in the sense of Kamala can't stay in, Trump, is not being allowed in. So I don't think they will cheat this time. If they cheat, it will put too many eyes on 2020, and I don't think they want that.
Well, hey, so you know how there's like that famous Q post that's talking about like the National Guard has been deployed, and if you want to verify this, go check out, like, talk to your National Guardsman. That was like, I think 1031 or 11. Like, so literally just today, Governor Inslee just activated the National Guard in Washington.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
in preparations for this election, right? So I wonder if other states are going to follow.
Why was that exactly? Because I haven't heard much about that, but why did they do that?
It just said in preparation for the elections coming up.
I think it's because there's going to be mayhem with Trump winning. I think he will win.
Yeah.
By quite a lot. And I think the Democrats will be like, well, we're going to just ruin everything as much as we can, even more between now and January, and then try to stop it and really like ragtail it all the way up until the inauguration. So it may not even be until springtime until.
You know what's another good indicator that Trump's going to win is, Dave, remember on the show probably a year ago now, YouTube reversed the whole election denial thing.
Yes.
So it's okay to talk about denying elections, and it's because probably Trump's going to win, and they are wanting you to deny that, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know if they would have known necessarily even a year ago that Trump was really going to. I mean, because we even had questions about whether Trump was able to do what he was doing, because he was slacking there for a minute, man. I mean, let's be real. We were critical of him slacking around and not taking it serious, but I think that's a pretty dead giveaway, honestly, man. If Washington is calling the National Guard, I just have a feeling that in the internals of the government, they see writing on the wall right now, and it's not good, especially with Mark Cuban saying shit, Biden coming out saying that we're all garbage. Like, it's just not, this last 2 weeks has not been good to Kamala, like at all, man.
And you see every single person that's been tied to the P. Diddy stuff. They're all coming out. J-Lo, Beyonce, Eminem. And it's kind of like they're super desperate, and I think they know he's going to win. And because they changed the law that the vice president doesn't have to certify the election, which I found quite interesting, because if that wasn't the case, then Kamala could say, no, you can't. But because they took that out, I think they're going to go the other route with Congress and make a big stink about it and just tie it up. They're going to tie it up in the courts. They're going to tie it up in Congress. And while they're tying it up, they're just going to keep destroying the United States. So
that's when we're going to have a war. Because people in other countries are going to see that, and they're going to be like, oh, America is weak. We're going to attack, and they will have a commander-in-chief, right?
Yeah. And that's why I think they always said that the new inauguration date I kept hearing about it being in March. So maybe the new Republic of America, not the corporation, is bankrupt. They're done. Maybe that's when Trump officially gets in, is in March, which is what I thought it was going to be, March of 2020. I'm like, Biden will be in for 90 days. They'll fuck this guy up. They'll prove it. But I think, personally, I think if it does go this way, Trump will not take office until March, and these guys will do as much damage as they can, unfortunately. I pray for you guys. I mean, Dexter came back last week because he didn't travel to Texas. I said, just don't be down there for the week of the 5th, and they both agreed with me. They were like, no, you're make good call. And I just said, listen, I've got the intel, brothers. I know what's going on.
So, you know what? I was reading something, because you know how that whole DOD initiative was revamped to allow the killing of civilians, right?
Yes.
The DOD initiative. So I was looking into like continuity of government and what is, I forget the other term, but anyway, there's somebody who
follow that guy, Derek Johnson. Like,
no. I'm not talking about the Q guy. No.
Oh,
like,
okay.
this is like, this was something else where I actually was looking into, there is a position in the military who would take over the whole country. And that person would supposedly become the president in times of internal conflict. So like if there is a massive riot or like a potential civil war scenario, the military will be like, no, fuck this. Like, we can't have this. And they have steps to de-escalate that whole thing.
And who is that in that position?
Bonkers,
like,
bro.
who gets voted or elected for that position to make that call? It can't be someone Democratic. It has to be someone in the middle. You would assume, it can't be.
Right.
Yeah, I can see them doing that, especially if they do cheat again, and then all of a sudden there's cheating again in 2020. And I just saw a real good stat tonight. Some guy in a video said that the Democrats have denied election results more than any other party since 2000. They did it in 2000, 2004. They did it in 2016. So anytime they do it, it's okay. And then once the Republicans did it, which was 2020, everyone shit on it. So I found that quite interesting that since 2000, the Democrats have denied election results 3 times. And I think that's why now they're worried, because if there is denial that they cheated, they'll throw a spotlight on 2020. And I think that's where the military might say, hey, there's cheating going on here. Now you're saying cheating went on again. We've got to put the brakes on this and figure it out. So if it doesn't go the Congress way where they can't decide, but they're just trying to make it difficult, I can see it being.
I'll try to find what I was talking about, because it wasn't like a conspiracy show or anything. They were like literally just bringing it out and talking about it. And I was like, oh, that's fucking interesting. Like, because it wasn't like Derek Johnson. You know what I mean? It wasn't like some Q guy. It was actually like a legit person.
QAnon or SGAnon. And I do listen to those guys, and they seem to be very detailed in their talking when he talks about executive orders. And a lot of times it just goes over my head. But sometimes I'll look up an executive order that Derek Johnson's talking about, and I go, there it is right there. And Biden never changed it, which is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, but again, at this point, guys, it's like throwing your hands up, unfortunately. And, you know, they give us the illusion that there is choice. Obviously, Trump is the right choice. Hopefully he is, you know. And then, like you said, after his 4 years, it's the next person, you know, that can come in. So it's just like, if they are making this change and there really is a plan, they have to have the next 50 years set. You know, like the cabal has always been 50 years ahead. You know, they planned 9/11 from the 60s. They built those towers to purposely take those guys down. And, you know, so I think it's the other way now, being like, how do we make sure that the next few generations wake up even more and changes, like for Dave's kids, right? Like, I think it's our generation has suffered. We have to go through it, but it's really the next group of kids, the kids that need to have something there for them, you know, get out of the slavery, because that's pretty well it. But I'm going to let you guys go so someone else can call. I just wanted to say hello and try to get another Canadian call again tonight. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, you never know.
Canadians out there.
It might happen.
Other Canadians out there? Any Canucks?
All right, dude.
All right.
Yeah. And, glad you're back.
I guess I'll see you on Tuesday, Greg.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Live show on Strange Sauna, so we'll be having some fun.
Yeah, I'm doing a live show. All my friends are excited. I said, listen, get on there. You can chat with me. Yeah, see what happens. Pray to God that, you know, it doesn't go AWOL. I think it will go AWOL after that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do too.
You gotta just keep strong. Yeah, gotta keep strong. And
all right, dude.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
We'll talk to you later, man.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah,
Sweet.
the whole continuity. So it is fucking weird, dude, because it is like this. It's like, really, like, you think you're that fucking pompous and like you think you could just overstep the president of the United States, but it's
yeah. I mean, I definitely have to look into that, man. I feel like that's nonsense to me, but I guess in certain situations where, I would believe it more if, like, you know, we had a massive situation where like government was destroyed, or we had multiple casualties in government, you know what I'm saying? And that needed to happen. But, you know, it's just like, I don't know, man. I just never heard anything about that. It doesn't make any sense when you have, you know, president, vice president, speaker of the House, you know, all these different categories, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense.
It's more about controlling the situation. And like, you know, vice president, speaker of the House don't know what to do, like, to control and contain people, you know what I mean? Like riots and all that shit. And so there is like this action plan. It's more like a, you know, when there's like a mass casualty event and they have like this triage, it's like that person becomes the head of the triage, and they're not the person in charge completely, but they are overseeing this whole operation. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Hello. Who do we got?
What's up, boys?
What is going on? Is this Scotty Boy?
No, it's Scotty Boy.
Scotty Boy, what's going on?
Oh, another day.
It is another day, dude.
How you been, Scotty?
You know, just around living, you know.
Yeah. Did you vote yet, Scotty?
40-hour. What?
Did you vote yet?
No, I vote on election day.
Oh, it was election day? All right.
See, that's what I'm waiting for, too. I'm taking the risk, dude.
I always vote on election day.
That's
I don't
good,
care
man.
if I have to wait in line for an hour or 2 hours. I don't care. I vote on election day.
Hell yeah.
That's good.
So
yeah, dude, it's every time I drive by the booths or the polling places that are around here over the past week, it's been like fucking lines, bro. Like massive lines. So that's why I was telling you, I was like, man, I don't know how long. When we pulled up, I was like, oh, we're good, dude. We're good. But people have been coming out, man. They've been turning out to vote, dude, for sure.
I mean, I get all like the early voting and all of that, but like I'm not a fan of that. Like
Me neither,
should
dude.
be
No.
election day.
Yeah, no, I like because that was the whole thing last year. Is like, what's all this mumbo jumbo early voting? That's one day. Everybody, it's called election day. It's not election week. It's not election month. It's not like all this pre-voting and ballot harvesting. And now this year, it's completely 180. And I get it. Like tides turn, things change, and like people learn things. But maybe they're trying to play the game, dude. Like Republicans are noticing what the Democrats are doing. They're like, fuck it, we're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, possible.
I mean, yeah, I get that too. What I also heard you guys talking to about like JD Vance earlier with who was the first guy?
Devin,
yeah. JD Vance, like he's from Ohio.
Yeah.
And I'll give you guys my like honest opinion on him. When he was running in Ohio, I never liked the guy. I was like, no, I'm voting against him. And then I heard him talking now, and I'm like, I actually like the dude.
Yeah.
Like he's made some points, and I'm like, now I actually like him. But when he was running for Ohio, I was like, no.
So, Scotty, was that something that like, because I obviously am not from Ohio and I didn't follow him as much. I don't think anybody really did, obviously, unless you were there. But what was the reason for that? Was it just like a preconceived notion? Did you find him arrogant? Like, what was the reason behind you not wanting to support him then?
It's just everything that I don't know. I guess it was just like all the ads that popped up about him and this and that, and just hearing him talk in Ohio, I was like, you know, he just sounds like an arrogant piece of shit. And I'm like, no, I don't like you. And then I've actually heard him talk on, you know, the VP trail, and I'm like, you're actually making more sense now. And I'm like, yeah, I actually like you now.
There's something about him that, like, you know, watching the Theo Vaughn episode with him, watching him on Joe Rogan, watching his, you know, when he does the rallies with Trump. I don't know, man. Listen, I'm with Greg. I understand, like, all politicians are skeptical of all of them. You never know. But there is something when he speaks that I'm just like, I just like listening to him. And it's not like a condescending thing. Like, he just sounds like a dude that you grab a beer with, you get along with, you invite him over on Saturday nights. Like, he just seems like a normal fucking dude. And it's kind of like a relief. And maybe that's the draw with him and Trump is such a, like, an omega kind of figure. Like, he's runs the show. And JD is not Pence. Pence was boring as fuck and unrelatable. Right. This guy is just like, he's that other element that people that are a little skeptical of Trump and the way he is, this guy is the polar opposite. You know, I kind of like the combo.
Well, when JD was running for like House or Senate or wherever he was running for in Ohio, he was just kind of like arrogant and didn't really talk or want to even be like that person that was public. Now he is. And
well, let me ask you guys this. In those interviews that you've listened to recently, does he talk about why he initially didn't like Trump and why he changed his mind and who talked him into that?
He talks about it on Joe Rogan a little bit, for sure. He talks about being...
I haven't listened to Joe.
Yeah, he talks about being critical of Trump and kind of thinking... so basically what his thing was is like just, you know, being in government. I'm paraphrasing heavily, obviously, but he's like, you know, just kind of hearing what people were saying, buying into the media a little bit, you know, too much and thinking that he was this person and never even meeting the guy. You know, he's like, I kind of just started seeing that, holy shit, this is not true. Like, this is taken out of context. It's the same. It literally is the same shit that you hear all these people talking about now, which they didn't see 6, 7, 8 years ago when they were like, oh, I didn't know that he actually didn't say that there was good on both sides and all this other shit. Like, it was the same principle, man. Yeah, now, to be fair, he's in government, so maybe he should have known better. But
for sure, and like those people in media, they get paid to talk shit about Trump. You know what I mean? Even Trump admitted that on Joe Rogan. He's like, these people, they come up to me, they tell me they love me, but they're like, I got to do it. They're paying me to talk bad about you. I got to do it.
Well, and here's the other thing, man. This is a thing that I think some people should at least give him some sway. He's 40 years old. Okay, so when he was running, Scotty, you could help me out here. When was he running? That was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. What was it?
It's
a while ago. I mean,
yeah.
Either way,
it was probably,
2016.
It was probably 6 years ago that he started.
Okay, so you're talking about a 34-year-old guy who's getting into this giant juggernaut of government. Okay, and I would imagine that he was taken under the wing by people. He gets in. People are trying to, hey man, and he's just listening. And now, and we all know now, that even Republicans, there's a lot of fucking rhinos, man. There's a lot of old school Republicans that hate Trump. And I just am assuming maybe he got with the wrong group. Maybe he was getting shit talked in his ear about, hey, Trump's bad, bro. Like, you have no idea. Like, we've been around for a long time. This guy's bad news. And it's not that shocking. Like, that's a huge thing to step into government, period. So I don't know. He go ahead.
Well, I can tell you too, like Ohio, though, even though we're like a red state, like a big Republican state, we do have like a lot of like our House and our Senate, we do have like a lot of Democrats in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it's a purple state, isn't it? Like a swing state, Ohio?
No,
used to be.
No, we're a red state mostly, but like our big populated areas, like Columbus, Cleveland, Toledo, Cincinnati, they're all Democrat. That's why we get more Democrats voted in, is because of those areas, because they're more populated.
Yeah.
But that's everywhere, Scotty. I mean,
exactly.
Washington, Seattle, Portland, Spokane, Eugene, here. I mean, Houston, the actual, city of Houston's very blue.
Yeah.
Austin's pretty blue. But it really comes down to like what kind of Democrat, because I do think there's a difference. There are Democrats who still believe in the Second Amendment, who I don't agree with on shit, but they still have some constitutional shit. And then there's some that are just radical, man. Like it's California's a different animal, bro.
And there we have one Democrat in Ohio right now, Sherrod Brown, and he's one that voted in like all the illegals and all of this and all of that. And actually, my buddy just sent me they sent him in the mail, like one for don't vote for Sherrod Brown because he wants all the illegals to come here and all of this and all of that. And it was actually his police report that was on the flyer that they sent in the mail.
So wait, so like your friend's police report was saying don't vote for who?
No. Well, don't vote for Sherrod Brown because of the illegals. Because actually he stopped an illegal who was from Venezuela. They known he's a Venezuelan gang member. And my buddy called Border Patrol. Border Patrol came, took him, and released him back to my city because he lives a city across the bridge, which is like 10-minute drive. And released him into the city, and he robbed a bank.
Old school. Like robbing a bank, dude. That's like fucking old school,
Yeah, that's some shit, dude.
Like, who robs a bank and ever gets away with it? You know what I mean? Like, you got to be like super fucking sneaky to do that shit.
Well, Border Patrol just let him go because, like...
Oh, okay. So this guy did. Okay.
Yeah.
Border Patrol,
I mean, listen,
Border Patrol says my hands are tied. They say I can't do nothing with him.
Well, I mean, hopefully, like bringing this whole back circle here, because we're gonna take another call here, Scotty boy. But I mean, we'll see. I'm hoping that Trump can, get in and prove what he's worth, like, because everybody thinks that he's the right choice. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and like see what he can do.
Well, I even think too, though, even if he gets in and they, even if we don't run the House and the Senate and they impeach him, JD Vance takes control. I'd like to see that happen.
Dude, be careful what you wish for there.
Well, I'm not against it, man.
I'm not against it. Like I said, I didn't like the guy to begin with, but I do kind of like that now. But so if that did happen, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Okay. I'm just saying, we don't know these people. We know what they present themselves on media. It is election season, so they are going to say sugary, sweet, honey things for you to suck on and like and absorb. Right? And
I get what you're saying.
And there's the shadiest thing about JD Vance to me is his connection with Trump and like why he was against him. And then all of a sudden he meets with Peter Thiel. They go to the White House and they have a conversation, and then everything's okay. And then he worked his way all the way up to VP just like that. You know what I mean? That's awfully quick. Like,
yeah, dude, you haven't listened to Joe Rogan at all, obviously. So go check that out, because he breaks down how he met with Trump for the first time. Like, Trump was there when he was running. He went to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump when he was running.
Yeah, with Peter Thiel.
I know. I'm just saying, like, people change their mind, man. There's a lot of people that didn't like Trump in the beginning. There's a lot of people that didn't know if he was going to be good for the country. And unlike you, I think I don't know why you're still so critical of Trump, but he's already been in office for 4 years. We've already seen what he's been doing. Like, at this point, you know what he is, you know what he does. Like, I don't understand how somebody can be like, he's going to be radically different than what he was in the first 4 years. And I was the first 4 years.
I think that there's a lot of money at play, right? Like, Peter Thiel has a lot of money. So does Elon Musk. And I don't know what that's going to look like as far as influence. You know what I mean? Because Trump ran on like, hey, I got my own fucking money. I don't need all this shit. Like, I'm my own man. And that's what I liked. And then he's taken a lot of money from donors where he said he wasn't going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know how that's going to influence him. It scares me a little bit. But, it's either him or Kamala at this point. Just like everybody says. So,
I mean, listen, I just really like the fact that the growth of the party over the past couple of months, especially, even with Tulsi Gabbard, given her flaws and all, with Kennedy, even Elon Musk, man, you got all these significant figures coming out. You can say what you want about all of them, but I'm not as critical on Elon Musk or any of those guys. I feel like what Elon did with X is a significant thing. And I think it'll go down as a significant. I think we would be in a worse situation right now had Elon not bought X. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, man. I just like the idea of being so critical all the time is like so tiring, dude. Like we've already had it, and that's what like bothers me the most. Like, well, I don't know. We'll see how it works out. What do you mean we'll see? We had a good economy. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he was always under attack, and he blamed it on being under attack. Like, he never got shit done because he was always under attack. And I'm like, is that going to just happen again? Stalemate? Nothing gets done.
You think that's what it is?
Maybe.
I think he got less done because he was under attack. And I would like to actually get to a point where we could see what he can do, not being in distress the entire presidency. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think it'll ever get that way, though. You know what I mean? Because,
well, if we come out and vote, all I'm saying is if we can come out and vote, and if he even scratches the surface of getting the national, like the whole popular vote on top of winning, that changes some stuff, man. Because the argument no longer can be we're the minority and he only wins because of the electorate. I'd like to see him win the popular vote, and I don't think that's unrealistic right now, to be completely honest with you. Will it happen? I'm not sure, but
I think he will.
If he wins, well, if he does, that shoots down a lot of people because they are no longer the voice of America. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think he did in 2020 though too. So,
well, we'll see. I'm with you on that one. But is there a chance? Do you think there's a chance that we get such a turnout that he actually can take this whole thing all the way through? No cheating can take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that possible?
Yeah, it's either like Yeah. I mean, like either a cyber attack will happen, they'll cause confusion, be like, dude, we don't know what the results are. Or he'll win by such a large victory that like there is absolutely no questioning it. But you will have these riots and, you know, the National Guard and all these people, right? Because it's Antifa, it's fucking BLM.
They're going to, right? No matter what.
Yeah. Or it's like they will cheat somehow and Kamala will win. And it's like everybody's going to be in like this what the fuck just happened mode, and they're going to demand answers, you know?
Yeah.
I could see all three of those.
All right, well I'm going to leave you guys with my last line.
All right, Scotty boy.
Let's hear it.
I grew up in a lower middle class.
Oh, shit.
There it is.
That's all you need to know, man.
Did you work at McDonald's too?
Well, I was about to, but I got in a car accident before I can put my application in.
Okay,
so they didn't hire me.
Don't call anybody garbage, okay? There's no garbage people here.
Shit.
All right, Scotty boy. Well, you have a good night, dude.
Yep. You too.
All right, peace. Yeah, dude, like when it comes to politics, I don't trust anybody. Like I never will, because I don't know them. They're not my friends. They're not my family. I don't like owe them anything. They don't owe me anything. So I'm just like, I'm not going to dedicate that much energy to them. And I'm just going to continue to feel like whatever they're going to want me to do will only benefit them. I don't feel like they give a shit about me. And that's just my point of view, dude. Like, I don't know how to get rid of that. But like,
you're not,
you know, because you could say like Trump is doing all these good things for like me, but I'm like, is he? Or is he like making money off this shit and he's doing it for like himself? You know what I mean?
Who cares? Like, that's the thing is, who fucking cares? If he was making money for himself and you're making money and you feel like gas is cheaper and food is cheaper and life is better, which it was, you can't tell me that his 4 years was not better than these past 4 years. You can't. And
COVID sucked.
Well, yeah. Listen, COVID. I'll give you that. Okay. But I'm just saying, like, the Trump presidency was better. And so, like, I don't give a shit if we're all prospering. If he makes money, which who knows? I would argue he's lost money. I don't know if you feel that way, but I feel like he's lost money. I feel like who the fuck would want to do what he has done the past 4 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to go through the shit he's gone through?
Dude, I think seriously, he has way more power now than before he ran for president.
I know, but dude, sure.
You know what I mean? Like power and sway and the ability to like have an army. Literally, like if he was under attack and he said, I need an army, like help me. Like if you went on Instagram Live and was like, I'm being attacked right here, I need men. Like, you know how many dudes would go with their guns and be like, dude, I'm right there with Trump.
Yeah, but it's not just Trump. It's anybody that's a good person would have the same people backing him. Maybe not in the numbers, obviously, but you're a good dude. If you came out and said, bro, I need help, you'd have fucking 20 of these people over here right now helping you if they could be there.
Oh, yeah. They'd come down from Canada.
But I'm serious. Like, that's part of the community thing, man. Like, I'm just saying that's a terrible example because anybody that is a good leader.
Like, I'm just saying we know those people. You know what I mean? Like politicians, we don't know. So they'll say things to get votes, and that's like why I can't trust it, because I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I know, but again, I'm with you 100%. Like JD Vance, good example, right? He hasn't been VP. We don't know how he's going to be as a VP. I'm with you. I get it, but Trump has been. Like the idea that like he says things just to get votes, like we've already had it, and there's a reason that the amount of enthusiasm is through the fucking roof for that guy. You know what I'm saying?
They want it back.
Because we've seen the worst and we had Trump. And I'm not saying Trump is the best, but I would argue that he was better than any president we've had in our lifetime. You know, as far as like how the economy is running, how no wars have been started, how the border was more secure. Like there's a ton of things you could go to. And I just like, damn, I mean, like we're not going to get perfection. Like, no person is going to be perfect ever. So we've already had it. We already know. So what's the question of like, he's just saying it to get votes? We already know what he does. We know what his game plan is going to be. So unless he comes in and he becomes Hitler, like straight up, and he all of a sudden we are going to camps, you know, like I don't know if you believe that's going to be the case, but I don't.
No, I just, you know, I don't know if he gets influenced by other countries. Honestly, like his relationship with Israel is super sus to me. Like that's one big flaw for him is like his loyalty to Israel. And I don't know if that's like, will that persuade him to do things for them, even at the cost of us? You know, and an example of that is like blowing up Soleimani. That was supposed to be a joint thing. Like Israel and America were supposed to go blow this guy up. Israel backed out at the last moment. It was just our bombs hitting this guy. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, Trump has to come out and be like, yeah, this was such a great thing that we killed this terrorist, you know, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, dude, you left us hanging here, bro. Like, why? That doesn't make sense to me. And then just all this fucking like weird bullshit, like with the religious stuff. Like, it's really fucking weird, dude. Like the crown, like the big Israel Society thing that they gave him like this like Messiah crown. They gave him the Messiah menorah. It says to our Prince of Peace. He's on like 2 different coins. I'm like, dude, like they're looking at his lineage to tie him back to King David because they think that would be some like sign that he's their Messiah. I'm like, dude, like, what is this?
Who's doing that?
The Israel Foundation, dude. Like Shabbat.
Okay, but I'm saying like,
like one of the biggest like organizations out there for that kind of religion. Okay. So I don't know.
I know. Yeah, again, it's like, okay, like this group of people are that fond of the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's cool, man. Make your coins, dude. But like that's not like, people aren't just like drooling. Like, it's not like, I know there are super fans of Trump. It's very obvious. There's people that think he's the Messiah. There's people that think he's Jesus coming, bro. But most people don't think that.
I hope not. And I hope those people don't have a lot of sway and power and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's my whole thing is like, how much power does that group have? You know what I mean? Because I really don't know. I hope it's not a lot. Yeah. And that's my whole thing where I'm like, I don't know. That's why I'm all like, dude, it's fucking weird. And if those guys have a lot of power and they're like telling them, dude, you're like our like Messiah, like that's fucking weird to me. And like, I just don't know because no one talks about it. And like, he won't talk it. Trump won't like talk about it and be like, oh yeah, these guys, like they gave me like, you know what I mean? Like if he were to come out and like, just be like nonchalant about it, be like, yeah, I got these, like this cool, check out this crown. Like you know, this cool little, you know, Israeli like organization. They gave me this and you know, it's very, very nice. Just very, very soothing. And like, you know, I'm there for them. And I'm there for the people, but he doesn't bring it up and it's just like hidden. And you can't really find a lot of information on it. You got to like dive for it. And when you find it, you're like, what the fuck is this? And it's just like,
yeah,
there's no answers.
I mean, I guess that's where we differ. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't like, and you're right. Maybe there's something more like, listen, the Israel thing to me is just dumb. The whole thing's dumb. I don't think Israel's bad. I don't think they're good. I don't think anything of it. Trump is not the only president. He will not be the only president that supports Israel. There's a lot of countries in the whole coalition that support Israel. Like, I don't find any of it fucking weird at all. And what Israel does, I just like, okay, you know, like they're this tiny little fucking pebble, you know, in the world. And they obviously demand a lot of support. They probably arguably need some, if you agree with that. But I don't know, man. I mean,
I just don't want to be forced into like supporting. You know what I mean? Like there's like a bomb that goes off and like all of a sudden, oh yeah, we got to go help. You know, it's just like that kind of stuff. Like,
I'm more concerned with Ukraine. I think Ukraine is a bigger concern for me because there's absolutely no reason strategically for Ukraine to be relevant. Mm-hmm. I understand Israel because of where they're located and who's all around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a strategic standpoint of the Middle East, Israel's very, very important. Ukraine, why are we dumping billions in Ukraine? Like billions and billions of dollars.
I think because the Warhawks want to invade Russia, and that's the best place to do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you're not taking over China. You know what I mean? Like, Ukraine is the biggest landmass country right next to Russia. So it's like, if you have control of Ukraine, and you're a UN nation and something happens there, like it's real easy to go right into Russia.
Yeah, Ukraine is, I mean, come on, man. Like, you think Ukraine is the tipping point of us being able to go into Russia?
No, I just, and there's a lot of, I mean, Lindsey Graham's even come out saying like, there's a lot of natural resources there. We can't let Russia get a hold of those. It's precious metals, Dave. Okay.
Well,
there's a lot of precious metals over there.
Yeah, I mean,
I can make. You know how many dildos I can make with those precious metals, Dave?
Yeah,
I
we've
make
never
my
listened to
dildo
Lindsey
blade.
Graham before, and I don't plan on listening to Lindsey Graham now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think he's a closet.
Yeah, dude.
We'll see.
He sucked a dick or two. There's no doubt.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
He's got that accent.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think there's something with the penis on the palate of the mouth that does change intonation.
Obama's. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm pretty convinced that Big Mike has taken down a couple of these Republicans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, when a little kid sucks his thumb and like the two front teeth stick out because of it. That's like Obama. That's the dick sucking teeth. You know what I mean? Like, he's got those dick sucking teeth, dude.
Yeah. They call him Lindsey Ham, dude, because he got that thick meat.
He goes ham.
Listen, man. I you know, it's one of those things that, like, I am very excited about this election. I'm very excited about it.
I'm excited
not
for you
critical.
being excited. I wish I was. I wish I could go back to like 2020, how I felt about Trump. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'll ever go back.
I think you can get to a point where you go too far with your deep dives. And like, I just wish that you could look at what's right in front of your face sometimes and just appreciate what's happening right here. Because what I hear...
That's a good way to get fooled. I feel like, you know, if it's like, hey, look at this shiny object. And then I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing with that thing?
No, life is not a shiny object. Okay. Like the point is you should be well-versed enough to be able to look what's in front of you, what you actually are seeing with your eyeballs right in front of you, what's happening, the excitement by people going around and seeing the amount of love and support that somebody has right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not shiny objects. That's you visually seeing it. You're not a dumb human being. I don't feel like I'm a dumb human being. I don't feel like anybody listens to the show is a dumb human being, right? And the idea is like, it's never good enough. And that's the one thing that's always driven me crazy, especially recently, is like when shit gets taken out, like just over and over, like, why can't we just see there's some really positive things happening? I don't know what's going to happen in this election, but you still can't deny that people are changing their minds. They're opening their eyes. They're seeing the light in a different way. It may not be this election, but like, it's changing. You can see it with the black vote. You can see it with the Latino vote.
Yeah.
You can see it with people that have been Democrats for a long time, man. That's important. And it's right there for you to see. I think coming together is important. I feel like having everybody come together, and the Republican Party has more ideals that I agree with than the Democrat Party. You know what I mean? Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
And so like that, I understand. Ooh, suspected spam caller. Okay, this might be our last call here. Hello. Who do we got?
That's Mike Mulaney. What's up?
Oh, what's going on, dude?
Oh, no, I'm just sitting at a hotel in Austin, Texas.
Okay, yeah. So you went through with it. All right. I was going to ask, did you take the deep dive into the, what is it? Who was the guy? Jesse James?
Yeah.
Yep, I got the job.
Hell yeah,
Fuck
dude.
Yeah, dude. That's sick, bro.
Yep.
So tell me how you like it.
What?
Tell me how you like it so far. I want to know. You've been there for a few days, right? Am I wrong?
I've been here since Monday.
Okay, so how you digging it? How you digging the environment? How you digging his shop and all that stuff?
Austin is cool.
Yep.
It's definitely different. It's everybody I've came across is really nice, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You know, all the dudes at the shop is like me. Like, we listen to the same music. We're all into comedy. We're all into the same cool shit.
Yeah.
It's a surreal feeling just being like, I walk in, I woke up at 2:00 in the morning on Monday, and I got the West Coast Choppers at 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Monday, and walked into the shop. Jesse stopped what he was doing, gave me a big hug, and like, come on, let's check out the shop. I'm like, oh shit, started introducing to me. He's like, hey, this is the new guy. Hey, this is Mike, what's up? He introduced me to everybody, and all right, well, I got to go. There's some metal here on the floor. This is a chassis jig. You and Dylan are going to start working together and start building chassis together.
So you just started building right then and there?
Well, my brain, I was fucking so tired. Like I was overwhelmed. Like, because the coolest of the cool shit. The machine shop is unbelievable. Like the Jesse James firearms, everything is made in house. So I was like taking all that stuff in because I love the machinist side of things too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just really overwhelming. And the second day I started, like I worked there. I was, I got there at 6:45 in the morning, like a normal work day, and started doing my CAD 3D modeling stuff. And completely like the shop manager pulled me off and had me work on a hot rod, which I looked at the task and I'm like, I could do this. This is nothing. I could do this. Yeah. It was making like a sun visor, the one that flips down and you have it like, apparently I said sun visor to somebody else and they thought it was like a sun visor on the outside of the car, but it's the one that's inside your car. Everybody's got one.
Yeah. It has like the vanity mirror in it and all that shit.
Yeah, I'll just make sure we're on the same page,
Yeah.
And it was a metal frame, and he's like, "Here, just make a panel and make these sun visors." And I'm like, "I could do this. This is nothing. This is nothing."
Nothing.
Well, I make the panels. Well, he's like, "All right, let's put some detail into it." And I use a bead roller and put some detail into it. I'm like, all right. I only used the bead roller like 3 or 4 times in my entire life, so I know my skills aren't there with it. And it's a sun visor. It's directly in the customer's eyes. So I wanted this piece to be like perfect,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I scrapped like 3 pieces of metal, like just learning how to do it. And I'm like, I left deflated. Like I was questioning life Tuesday. I'm like, I've been doing this shit. I came back to the hotel all depressed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, sorry, cursing, but.
How dare you? How fucking dare you? No.
But I was just like, man, I don't got it. I really don't have what it takes to work here. You know what I mean? So, but then I manned up and I'm like, no, I'm going to go in there tomorrow, Wednesday, and go right to what I was doing. I was re-engineering his jig table for the motorcycles to be built on, because they have no motorcycles and no fixturing in 3D modeling CAD world. And I'm like, I could shine by doing this. So I didn't allow the shop manager to pull me off of it, kind of deal. And then I designed it all up. The next day we started bending tubes. And Jesse comes in and he's like, hey, how was yesterday and today? I was like, oh, today's a better day.
Yeah.
Just
sitting here bending some tubes, bro.
He looked at me with the tilted head look, and he's like, "What's up?" I was like, "I just got pulled off of motorcycle stuff, and I just learned that I didn't have I'm not strong at the bead roller yet." He's like, "Oh, dude, anything you want to learn, you're more than welcome to come to my personal shop, and I'll teach you how to form a gas tank out of a sheet metal if you want."
When I visited my first Navajo tribe, they told me I was not strong with the bead roller.
Oh, God.
You not strong. White man not strong with bead roller.
Jesus.
So he's like, let me see what you're working with. And he's like, oh man, like you got the concept. You know what you got to do. It's just, it is harder to follow a nice crispy line to make it perfect, He's like, next time we do this, you come out to my shop and I'll show you how I would do it. I'm like, oh, all right.
I mean, dude, you literally have like one of the best in the world that can show you this shit. And that that should be like enough for you to be like, fuck, man, even if you're not feeling comfortable, like this, who's better? You know what I'm saying? Who's better?
I was so scared to
mess up or something.
I guess it was my own little ego inside. I just didn't want to be like, hey man, I fucked up these pieces. And but he showed that I showed him that like I was trying. I tried it on a test piece and I got it bitching on the test piece. Like it was awesome. But when it came to the actual piece, I would just like lose the line just a little, like.
Dude, you know what?
Probably would have said it was okay, but
it's like they call it a learning curve for a reason. Yeah, because like you start out really excited and then you go down, and you hit this like lull when like you realize you're like, shit, did I bite off more than I could chew? What the hell am I doing?
100%.
And then when you start,
it's nerves.
But when you start climbing the back up and you get to the top there again, dude, nothing's better than that.
Where are you staying at, Mike? Are you in a hotel just like nearby, or are you staying like downtown, or where are you at right now?
I'm in the same town as West Coast Choppers. I'm in Dripping Springs.
Oh yeah, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's outside of just on the outskirts of Austin, I guess, or I guess it's still technically Austin. I don't know. Still kind of learning.
Hey, there's a good little taco joint, okay, over there. All right, it's just down the street from HEB. Okay, it's right on the side of the road. It looks like this little hole in the wall shack, and they're fucking delicious. I gotta tell you, man. I'll find what it is. I'll send it to you.
I went to HEB and I got the boys some donuts, and I'm like, damn, this is a fucking crazy place.
Dude, HEB is amazing. HEB is. I love HEB.
Yeah, so when I showed him all the CAD stuff I worked on, he's like, perfect. This is cool. I'm happy I saw this. I'm like, all right, cool. We're on to something.
Dude, yeah, it sounds like Jesse really likes you. So, I mean, you already have like how did you meet him, by the way?
Well, through drag racing, when his ex-wife she actually still does.
Which one?
His ex-wife.
I'm just kidding. There's like fucking 17 of them ex-wives, dude.
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
No. Alexis DeJoria.
Oh, okay.
Her dad is John Paul DeJoria that owns Paul Mitchell Hair Products.
Okay.
Oh, shit. That's some money right
big
there.
Big money shit. You know, yeah. So.
You ever offer to be a gay model?
Nope.
Just saying, you can make a lot of money doing that, dude.
Yeah, man.
But what you said about Jesse taking a liking or whatever, like he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I have a rental property that you're more than welcome to move into. And I'm like,
damn,
I gotta so I've been looking at rent to just see what numbers are out here.
Yeah,
and it's pretty pricey compared to Indiana.
Yeah.
$3,000, $3,500, for places.
Yep.
He's like, dude, I got a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. You can rent it for $1,600 a month.
Holy shit!
Like, what?
Yeah, that's good. Well, I was gonna say too, man, because Dripping Springs is pricey as fuck, man. There are areas around that you could be just outside, 20-minute drive, 20-minute drive, and probably get something a little bit better. But $1,600 is hard to beat, bro.
The rental house is only 32 minutes away with traffic. So it's really not that bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. No, that's not bad at all.
So,
dude, you got the fucking setup, dude. Like, it sounds like all of these pieces to me.
I got to get the old lady on board.
That's what I was going to say, because like all these pieces are fitting except for the wifey. So how's she treating it?
I think she's just more scared because she's never left the nest yet. You know what I mean? Like, she's never been more than 20 minutes away from her dad.
Yeah.
And it's like her dad's getting older, which I totally understand everything, but I still believe everybody needs to leave home for a little while.
Can the parents, can the dad and mom move with you guys?
No, I ain't even fucking, nope. I'm not,
oh, okay. You don't like mom and dad. I get it.
Well, the good thing is, though,
like we need to do this as alone type thing,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to be careful with that because she could be thinking, no, I don't. I don't have to do anything alone with you.
I mean, so I think what happened when I first brought this up, I said, hey, babe, Jesse James is hiring. Do you want to move to Austin? And, there's been lots of times I don't follow through with things. One, because I was, fucking crazy stoner. You know what I mean? I would not follow through, especially with that, Well, I actually texted them, and it fucking escalated really quick. And then I think reality set in to holy crap, this might be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think I also scared her when I said, babe, if we sell the house, we can chip away a lot of debt and a lot of headache we do have in our life, and that's our childhood home. She don't want to get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, so shit. She grew up there. Okay.
Well, her dad built the house for her mom, but her mom passed away in '96 and wasn't able to live in it yet. So she has a huge sentimental value to the house, you know.
Yeah. That's huge.
Which I totally understand. But you know what?
You could rent it out.
I was like, we could rent it. Yeah, we could rent it out for $2,500 a month and help pay for things in Austin, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think, and she's not with you right now, right? It's just you in Austin, right?
No, it's just I came down by myself for this trip, but I do want to bring her down in December just so she can check it out, you know?
Yeah, you have to.
For sure, man.
You have to. Dude, I wish you would call in sooner, Mike, because I want to talk to you about this. This is like a really interesting venue that you're going into in your life. I like this.
I've been on
awesome,
phone
dude.
call after phone call after phone calls ever since I left West Coast Choppers today.
Yeah,
but,
I can imagine.
Dave, last week you said that West Coast Choppers at Austin Speed Shop, 2 totally different locations.
So the Austin. So am I wrong that he has worked at Austin Speed Shop though? Right?
I do
pretty positive.
I think he has partnership with it. Yeah.
Okay. But so that I don't know if you've been to that shop yet, or if had a chance to go check it out, but it's fucking cool, man.
I'll be passing it tomorrow when I go to the airport.
It's not big. It's not a big shop.
Austin Speed Shop is.
Yeah, it's cool. There's actually a very cool outdoor like restaurant that's like right by it that has like food carts and shit, so you can go get some like good food, and there's like music and shit. And then but the speed shop's not very big, but they have like a gift shop. You can go in there and they have like some cars and some motorcycles, and you can see inside the shop and all the cars that they're working on. But when we went, there was probably 30-40 cars out in the parking lot. You know, they're having like this big kind of get together. But it's just a really cool like old school small shop, man.
Yeah, I mean, West Coast, dude. They built the gun, dude. The gun operation.
Oh, I thought you said gunt. I'm like, what? What's the gunt?
The gun operation is so impressive, dude. The kid that runs the speed shop is my age, and he does the designing of the guns, the machining of the guns, all from scratch. Jesse will hand him a blank of Damascus steel, and he'll turn it into a fucking gun. It's the coolest. I think it's the coolest thing ever. Like,
that's pretty dope, man. Well, hey, listen, man. I hope you guys get the family, you know, and visit obviously again in December. But when you get settled, because I'm pretty, you know, I feel like you're going to move.
I think it can happen, but I just think she needs to slow down mentally and not be so scared and just be a little open-minded. Because she's got 12 years experience as an RN.
Yeah.
She can walk into any hospital down there. But
that's what you're going to have to do that, Mike. You're going to take her down and you're going to show her all the medical shit that they got and all the different stuff. And there's just a really amazing places around Austin that's going to be really cool with the family, like cool kid places. But she's going to love it, man. But what I was saying was when you get settled, because I feel like you're eventually going to do this. It's going to be hard to turn this one down, man. Just make sure you keep in touch, man, because I need to get over there. I need to meet Jesse James. So if you have a way in, I got to shake the guy's hand. All right.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, dude, you know, I mean, you follow Jesse just as long as I have, probably. You know what's even cool about him? And it's so corny for me to say this. I went through like old chassis notebooks just because I was building a chassis and I've never built one before, so I was just looking, right? Even the dude's handwriting is fucking cool.
Oh my God, you're crushing on this guy.
Yeah, dude. I love it.
Oh my God, you have the best handwriting, dude.
Dude, Jesse, your hands are so soft, bro. I love your hands. They're just fucking.
Yeah, I looked at the kid Dylan. I was like, look at this dude's handwriting. It's like borderline graffiti, perfectly legible. You could read it perfectly, but it's just got that little flair to it. And I'm like, this motherfucker. Dude. I wonder how long it took him to perfect that.
You know what it is? It's because the guy's artistic, man. And usually those kind of people just have these creative ways of doing everything in their life. So it's impressive. What you're doing right now is awesome, dude.
He's got a gun range on site at West Coast Choppers.
Hell yeah. I'm sure he has a lot of stuff.
Explosive license, so we can set off bombs whenever we want.
Damn,
that's
bro.
Sick.
Say, and get this, Mike. If you're there, if they film another season of this TV show, West Coast Choppers, dude, you're going to be in it. You're going to be a TV star.
Yeah, that's what he said. We just got done shooting Outlaw TV, multiple episodes of it, but we do have another season, and they're talking about doing Monster Garage again.
Dude, you gotta make a promise. You gotta shout out fucking your boys over here.
I was wearing my PMA shirt the first day I got in.
Hell yeah, bro.
I walked in with my part of America gray long sleeve. I was like, what's up, boys?
Well, that seals the deal. We will have to change our name back because Jesse James is not going to know who the Last Americans is.
Yep, 98% positive. We got to change it back now.
Damn, bro.
That's no joke, dude.
Everyone,
all right,
everyone
guys,
you can thank me.
Yeah, Mike, dude, you got to call in first time next week. Well, we're having our Zoom party. Are you going to join next week?
Oh, yeah, I will.
Okay, let's talk about it next week. I want to hear all about it. Right on, dude.
Yeah, cool.
We'll talk to you later.
See you guys.
Good luck,
Bye.
Mike.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm so happy
Sick,
for that guy. That's so fucking cool.
That is such an opportunity, man. I'm serious. Like in that field, that is just, that's hard.
Dude,
that's
it never happens. Like, who does that happen to? Like, I've never heard of that happening to anybody I don't know.
But I'll just say this to Mike, man. I know you're still listening, man. Like you're saying, you're questioning yourself. There's no way that guy is asking you to do that if he doesn't have full confidence that you can be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So just go in there and do what you know how to do, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an awesome opportunity for him.
Yeah.
And his wife. I'm sure she gets in there, she'll love it. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be hard.
Agreed. Well,
all right, man.
Yeah, everybody, that is going to be the conclusion of tonight's show. And I don't have an outro or music or anything, so I'm just going to stop. Okay?
All right. Greg, good talking to you, bro.
Yep. See you later, everybody. Sayonara.
See you.